Snodacast. I'm your host, Black Chef 56, and I'm of course joined by Leon Lionheart, aka Leon.
What's up, guys?
Of course, Joe is here.
No.
Sure, we'll go with that one. And of course, we also can't have a normal podcast without having Gallows.
Yo.
All right. So we can't have a normal episode of the podcast without asking about weekly updates. So I gotta ask, how's everybody's week? Leon, how's your week, buddy?
Well, I got good news.
That's good.
I got my unemployment dealt with.
That's fantastic.
That is
good to
great.
hear.
Yeah, after 2 weeks, almost 3 fucking weeks of bullshit, I was finally able to get it. So
That's good.
Yeah, and I had the fun privilege of watching the complete season 1 of Vox Machina last night. So
How'd you like it?
Oh, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I love it too.
Yeah, a friend of mine let me borrow their Amazon Prime account so I could watch The Ring of Power, and I found other stuff to watch too. So
I was gonna say, don't watch Ring of Power. That's if you're a Lord of the Rings
No.
fan, The Hobbit is better than Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Let's be perfectly honest here.
I still have to give it a chance to form my own opinions on it, but
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That is fair. All right, Joe, how was your week, buddy?
Ah, shit, I almost muted my volume, damn it.
No.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just keeping it in there.
That's good.
I just know this coming Thursday, and another party to go to. I'll probably get to talk more to that one girl I met at the party earlier
Well, that's good.
on Halloween.
All right. Well, we'll wish you the best of luck with that, buddy. All right,
Yeah.
Gallows, how was your week, buddy?
It's been great. I've been playing this last week. I've been playing nothing but the God of War series, so it's a pretty long
Fair
story.
enough. Yeah. I had to watch a
Crazy.
whole 4-hour video on all the cutscenes, basically the whole story, including all the the PSP games, all the spin-off games, and the main story. So yeah, I've been enjoying that so far. I've
Easy
watched bitch, fuck you. I literally just watched that for the lore, and also because it's hard as shit to get the games.
It is.
yeah,
It is.
All right. Well, my week's pretty much just been work. I did help my great aunt move this weekend, or the past 2 days. So, hence the reason the disheveled look. I haven't really gotten much to do today aside from work. So, yeah, that should be good. Yeah, other than that, I'm perfectly fine. So, if you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go into now showing.
Yeah, let's go.
We actually have a now showing this week. All right. So for now showing, we have shocker of all shocks, a Marvel movie.
What just happened?
Wakanda Forever has come out this weekend, and I have heard mixed results to say the least. And Joe, quit being cringe.
It was obligatory.
Of course it was. Yeah, sure, whatever, right?
Thanks, Dad.
Well, what I've heard, people don't like it because of the whole, because of his death and stuff. And some people didn't like the fact that
I've heard that they handled that
into a movie.
extremely well, though.
Yeah, that's what I've been
I've
told
heard
too. They did a really great job about it, though.
Yeah.
They were able to let the cast who didn't really get to say goodbye to him because of fact dealing with all this kind of stuff on his own. And nobody really knew that he had that type of cancer going on. Nobody knew it like at all. So I mean, they dealt with it. The cast, the director, and everybody dealt with it really great. At the premiere show, if you look really close, you can see that the director was wearing a dog tag, but with Black Panther's face on it. Yeah, Chad
Oh, okay.
face on it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, all right. That's good. I've heard that they handled the grief. This movie is mostly about grief and how to handle it and it still managed to uh, bundle the humor in there as well, but it's not as humorous as like recent Marvel projects have been, which has kind of been a crutch that Marvel's been leaning on a little too long, in my opinion.
Yes. No, I agree with it too.
Absolutely.
Interesting about that, because if Chad didn't pass away, the story actually still would have been about grief, except it would have been him dealing with him losing 5 years.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
would have been interesting. Yeah.
So the story was basically sort of the same,
Okay.
except now they had to change it because he passed away.
Ah.
It was
That does
always
make
good. This one was always going to be about grief, but things changed, so they had to change the way the grief was processed.
Right. Okay. Well, that does make sense. So I've also heard really good things about Namor, even though they don't ever specifically call it Atlantis because DC will go after their ass. I have heard things that like he's one of the best villains in this movie, or in Marvel in a while. I think I've heard like since Thanos, he's been one of the best villains. So
Doesn't
that's a
always
really
been a
good one.
villain.
Yeah.
What
Well,
are we talking about?
Namor.
Namor? Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that they threw the. I knew understood that they couldn't throw the Atlantis theme in there because of DC.
Mm-hmm.
I could just spell
But
it
I
differently.
enjoy the fact that they threw a more of a South America, basically a Latino,
Yeah.
Aztec, Latino thing. Yeah, it
Well,
really, I think it's a good idea to do it.
No, I do too, and I've heard he is one of the better parts of this movie. Now, on the criticism side of things, I have heard that this has a really strong beginning and has a really strong ending, but the rest of the between is kind of mishandled. I've heard it's very similar to Wonder Woman 84, where the
Oh god.
beginning is handled okay, and so is the ending. But to get from the beginning to the end, it's a like slaughtered down mess. So I've heard like that's why I'm saying I've heard mixed reviews about this, but I will eventually go see it. I plan on it wholeheartedly. I just don't know when I'm gonna have the time, unfortunately. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm interested to see where they go with it, just because I don't know. I'm starting to get a little bit out of Marvel, honestly, because DC's probably is starting to finally get a foothold in what they want to do, and I'm happy about that. And that's part of my Snowdaquick is I will eventually get into something big that they might be planning.
Oh man, there's so much shit to say about DC because of the Jason Momoa shit, the video he posted.
Yeah, I will go
When
into
he found
further.
out-
We'll go into further detail whenever we're on Snowdacquicks with that. Yeah, it's something that Jason Momoa put out. So, all right. Anyways, so on to sadder news. Unfortunately, our first topic of the night is the unfortunate passing of Kevin Conroy.
This
Oh man, bro.
last flight of another bat.
Yeah,
A fucking bat, bro.
The sad thing is like this is yet another celebrity that has been taken away from us in the year of our Satan 2022. Let's be perfectly honest, this has been his decade. Anyways, just it's so sad.
That's been the past couple of years. What are you talking about? It's been the past
That's
couple
exactly
of
my
years.
point. The 2020s have been the decade of
I
the
grew
Satan.
up
Let's be
watching
perfectly honest.
Batman the anime fucking series, and just
I did too, and I grew up. I grew up playing some of the
Mark
Arkham
Hamill
games.
being his Joker, man.
Yeah, and that's what made me You know what's crazy is Mark Hamill's older than. It's even more sad is that Mark Hamill's older than Kevin Conroy, but Kevin Conroy apparently he's been sick for quite a while,
Cancer.
and up until the last one of the last few days of his life, he actually was still continuously going to conventions to meet fans, and that warms the heart that he was still so adamant about seeing his fans.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that he was just a good person, and I think he's gonna be one of those people that it's like the world is never gonna be the same without him.
No, of
And
course
it's
not.
just
This dude brought a lot of joy to a lot of people's childhood.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
do.
one of those things. It's like the most
I think
iconic
it's
look of
the same
Batman.
hit as like when Chad Brownwick died, because he also died of cancer too. So
Who are we talking about?
Chad Broadwick. Is
Chad
that I'm
Barrett.
saying Black Panther?
Oh, Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah, Chad
Chad-
Boseman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was another person that was gone way too soon. Absolutely.
It hurts.
It does hurt. It really does. And
Hits a different generation, but still because of the similarities. Because he was still he was still doing movies, he was still doing events, and
Yeah.
he was sick. And
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy did the same thing.
yeah, he did. And it's just one of those things. It's like, you know, the fact that he was still showing out for his fans, that
That-
hits the hardest.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of those things, and it's just like I don't know what else I can say about it, but it's just one of those things. And what's crazy is I was on the road when I received the news. I received it through a Twitter notification. One of the accounts that I followed was saying, "My heart goes out to DC and all the Batman animated series fans for the passing of Kevin Conroy." When I first read that, I was like, "Oh crap, Mark Hamill died." But then I was like, "No, they would have included Star Wars before they would have included DC." But it's just one of those things. It's just it hurts. It really did hurt. It actually put a damper. I was going to get food too. I was quiet my entire time eating. I mean that hurt so bad.
I'm just upset with the shit I was hearing It was just
What's
I was mostly
you were-
upset with fucking because some of the people who like DC, like don't get me wrong, every group has them and shit like that. They do.
Yeah.
But like, god damn, bro, a guy died. He brought happiness to his childhood. And you're gonna sit here and slander his fucking name? Like, fuck sakes, bro.
That's just the internet that that's the world of the internet that we live in, and it's shameful. I hate it.
Like go fuck themselves.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. People that are just trying to get their voice out, and it's just one of those things. It's like for those few fleeting seconds, they feel like they have power, and I just that hurts. It hurts that people are
Mommy
like
and daddy
that.
never really loved them enough.
This is assuming if they have mommy and daddy, but we're not gonna become like them and start ripping them a new asshole just because they.
No.
went
We
after
have to
somebody.
be the better one.
We have to be the better
Already
people.
has
We
that
have to
job.
say we acknowledge they exist. We do not have to continue to give them any more clout than what they already have. Not like we're going to give them any clout, anyways. Such a small channel, but it is what it is. Our hearts go out to his family for sure. It's just one of those things. It's yet another shitty situation of a beloved icon passing. And
Kevin Conroy was actually the first Batman I knew.
Yeah, mine was mainly
for animation.
For animation for sure, but mine was mostly Adam West, and of course I knew Christian Bale for sure. I didn't really know Michael Keaton's name as much, even though I knew his movies. I knew his Batman movies, but I just like whenever I thought of it, I was like, oh yeah, Christian Bale, because he shares the name with me, Christian. It's just one of those things. But like Kevin Conroy, whenever I figured out who he was, I was like, oh shit, that's Mark Hamill that's doing the Joker voice. I was like, that was a whole, I wouldn't say downward spiral, but that was a whole spiral that I went down. And it was just one of those things. It's like, wow, it's crazy how many Batman projects they both did together. And it's just, and I've tried to actually watching the Batman animated series all the way through. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's just one of those things. It's like I've been binging other shows, so it was kind of put on my back burner. And it's just one of those things. But I wholeheartedly love this guy. He's been a voice in a lot of my childhood. And it's just one of those things. It's like, as a Batman fan, Batman, I get it. It's a cliche to say Batman or Superman is your favorite DC superhero, but Batman's always been one of my favorite superheroes. And it's just one of those things where it's like, doesn't have any powers, has trauma.
All his power isn't here.
I don't know. I feel like watching the animated series on HBO Max now. But Fish passing, I don't think I could. I don't think I could because it's like
I could definitely do it. I could definitely do it, but it's just gonna hit harder. And the other thing is like he has in my opinion, one of the best Batman movies is Mask of the Phantasm. I mean,
Yeah.
that is
I
one
don't
of
think I've
one of
seen
the
that
best
one.
Batman stories. That one is actually connected to the animated series. It's an animated series movie. That
Mhm.
is one of the most
So was
well-renowned animated series
Sub-Zero,
movies.
Batman Sub-Zero. That's the one
Yes,
I remember
yes,
watching.
My
yes.
favorite
Sub-Zero.
has been Mask
both
of the
were really
Phantasm.
fucking good.
Mask
I
of the
really enjoyed them
Phantasm is
both.
like a good example of what a Batman detective story can be, and actually, the Batman took a lot of inspiration from Mask of the Phantasm when it came to like how to do the detective kind of story.
If
Um,
not, also like who Batman is.
yeah,
Like
it
the
goes into
inner
his
thing of what makes
backstory
Batman
and
Batman.
like it goes into like year one Batman. It does all this stuff. It's a really really solid movie, and for 90 minutes, it does really really well. The only thing that I think a lot of people would kind of nitpick at is they kind of semi ruined the animosity of Joker in the animated series. At least they say, "Oh yeah, no, he's this gangster that went fucking nuts," and it's just. But I think why they did it. It's so they could have the Joker in the movie, and so they could connect it to the main storyline. And I like that. And I also think that it has one of the best Joker laughs of all time because
Oh yeah.
It really does.
it's epic imagery, and you can tell he's giving it all because it's like, oh well, shit, I might die, so fuck it, one last laugh. And
Did,
it's
did
just
we talk about the about his scene in the DC Legends?
I will also say with
DC
that the
Legends of
music in
Tomorrow
that
and stuff like
scene
that.
yeah.
is what nails
Yeah,
it.
no. Yeah, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, he plays a version of Batman that is like so old that Alfred's gone and everything else, but he has the mech suit. That was actually Kevin Conroy's first
What?
actual time to play Batman in live action, and I think he did a fair enough job. Just the writing was kind of off for it because
Oh yeah, plus
like,
it's
it's still
CW.
CWDC, so do with that what
There
you
was
will.
rumor coming around, like I think it was like around when Crisis of Infinite Earths came out,
Uh-huh.
when everyone found out he was going to dress up as Batman.
Oh,
Everyone
no,
was
no,
like,
no.
there was a rumor going around about them making a live action Batman Beyond,
Ooh, that would have been
I would've-
good.
and they
I would've
wanted
loved to have
Kevin
seen
Conroy
that,
to come
bro.
in and be Bruce Wayne as an old man.
That would have been
man,
awesome.
that
I
would
would
have
have
been
loved
great.
that.
I agree. That would have been amazing. That would've
Yeah,
been
that would have
amazing,
been
but-
that would have been fantastic for wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah.
And also, I mean, like you got to look at it. I think they only had one movie for Batman Beyond, and that was the Joker one. That was really
Return
good.
of the
I
Joker,
enjoyed that
yes.
one. Yeah, Return of the Joker. That was a really good one. I loved that as a kid.
thought
Especially
that
movie
was
the
great.
unedited cut. The
Mhm.
unedited cut where it was what was it? He actually gets shot by a
By Robin, the younger
brainwashed
Robin.
Jason, or brainwashed. Was it Jason or was it?
It was Tim. It was
Tim.
Tim.
Yeah, it was Tim. He gets shot by brainwashed Tim, and it was from a joke gun. And I like one of the best last lines for Joker is like, "That's not funny. That's not," and just dies. I was like, "That's
Either-
fucking hardcore."
Either he dies that
That
way,
is fucking.
or
That was
he
funny to me when I saw it.
Yeah,
Like,
depending on when it was
fucking
the
finally
censored
got
version
it.
or not.
there's the censored version where it's he gets electrocuted off screen, which is still
Yeah.
funny. Ultimately it's a gag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I still think like it's funnier and
Whitish.
better with him getting shot with his own joke gun. I thought that was perfect.
I
So,
always felt like
James Batman.
Joker would love to go out that type of way, getting killed by his own props.
yeah,
and
he
stuff.
would love to get killed by one of his own props. That's one of the best ways to die. If you're a guy that's like your whole identity is based off of jokes, like practical jokes and all that. Going too far,
Yeah.
obviously, I would think wholeheartedly. But once again, Kevin Conroy, you will be missed.
Very.
Mhm.
That's
Very
very much
missed. You are the best Batman out there today.
best Batman, most iconic Batman for sure. When it
To a
comes
lot
to
of fans, he is the Batman. To a lot
yeah,
of
he
fans.
is the Batman. Yeah, absolutely. Just
I am, as a
You'll be
quote
missed, man.
from the Scarecrow episode, I am the Justice, I am the Knight, I am Batman.
yeah. I would say honestly, his better quote is one directly from the comics. It is, "I'm vengeance." I think it is, "I'm vengeance. I am justice. I am the night. I am Batman."
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah. I am vengeance. It starts off with "I am vengeance." Yes, wholeheartedly one of the most iconic lines that could have ever been read by none other than one of the most iconic voice actors to play Batman.
Mhm.
All right. Well, on to our next topic, on to slightly happier news, though, depending on what your views are about Netflix, maybe more
Fuck.
worrying news. Gears of War has officially been announced as another attempt at Netflix to have a brand new franchise to kind of go into. They're not only going to be doing a live action movie, they're also going to be doing I believe, a animated series or like animated like what they've done with The Witcher. They have an animated movie to go with the live action, and I think if you get the right writing staff, you get the right acting, you get the right actors, you get a decent director, you will have a solid show. Because there's enough lore in Gears of War to make a decent show, movie, whatever.
Bring us
and I think
Batista. That's what I want.
yes, and that's what
Batista
everybody's
as the
been
main
wanting.
character, bro.
However, I do have to play devil's advocate with this, and I have to say, is there really any mainstream voices that care? This might be too little. This might be a case of too little, too late, and grasping at straws here. It's like, what's an IP that we haven't done that we can do? Gears of War, do it. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Do it. I feel like that's what this is, and
I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, I feel like it was. Now, granted, with The Witcher, that was different. There was still a lot of voices out there that were wanting to have a Witcher series, and so that's fine, perfectly fine. You can do that.
Yeah.
However, you also don't want to have a situation of Halo where they announced it and then took 10 years to fucking get it out, and then it still ended up being absolute dog water. So I don't know. I'm excited for the possibility of it. However, because it is Netflix attached to it and it isn't something that was made in South Korea, I have my worries. Of course,
I think everybody does.
Now, I heard somebody go around. I heard somebody say it, and granted, I barely glazed over it, but somebody said, "Get Zack Snyder to direct the movie," and I think that's not a bad idea. Well, no. Here's the thing: when he's passionate about something, like I would say he was very passionate about Watchmen, and Watchmen's I would say it's one of the most. Iconic. I would say it's his best work. I wouldn't say it's as iconic. I would definitely say his best movie that he's directed based off of a graphic novel or a comic would have to be 300. But I would say, honestly, if you get him to tone the fuck down with his weird camera shit that he tried in Army of the Dead, and you also, get him to tone down on the slow motion, I think you could ultimately make a decent action flick. Now, the only other person I would say would probably be suited for Gears of War, you're gonna hate me for this, I would say Michael Bay would be a pretty decent choice. Because hey.
No, I actually agree with that. Because of the way
I think Michael Bay would do good.
Michael Bay, I think, would do a good job.
Yes, I definitely think Michael Bay would do a good job because, like, it's military, it's guns ho, it's everything else like that. That's the shit that he loves. Explosions.
Two in the game? Yeah, he would do so good about it.
Yeah, I think he could definitely do a really good job with it. Unlike Transformers. Now, I'm just saying, if you get somebody to have, like, if you have somebody in there that'll tell him, okay, Mike, I get that you want to do this. I get it. Tone it the fuck down or you're set. And it's just one of those things. I think he could be a good... Maybe I could see him maybe being a producer, because TMNT Out of the Shadows, while granted had its issues, was one of the best live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, in my opinion, when it came to fan moments and crowd pleasing. I think TMNT Out of the Shadows was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that movie, and I think Gears of War doesn't have to be John Wick. It'd be awesome, but it doesn't have to be John Wick. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't. I mean, it can be serious. I know it has to eventually, but it doesn't. It could just be dumb fun, and I think that's ultimately what you want to do to get people interested in this series. I think there's a lot of opportunities with it. I'm just saying, get him one of the better writing staff that actually gives a shit about the material and doesn't actively dislike the fucking material. The Witcher. Anyways, did I say something?
Yeah.
I definitely
he could be a better producer.
Yeah,
maybe if Michael Bay and Zack Snyder collabed on it, maybe that would be
interesting. I would love to see that. That'd be interesting. I would say maybe
Zack Snyder does the directing.
Maybe
does the producing.
Mm-hmm. I would say no. I would honestly say Michael Bay directing and Zack Snyder producing, because Zack Snyder could be like, oh hey, or have him in the editing room almost to be like, hey, why don't we do this in slow-mo? Or, hey, and then you could have Michael be like, no, I got an idea. Explosion, lens flare, all in slow-mo. and a body part flying. It's like, yes, that's Gears of War.
That's
like,
Gears of War.
movie.
Yes,
You have a movie.
That
There
would
you go.
work.
That'll be
Yeah.
fucking great.
Explosion, random
Okay.
arm being severed by a chainsaw gun in slow mo with all the blood and guts.
Who would be Marcus though?
I'm gonna have to say Dave Bautista. You have to get Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
On. He would be one of the best
I think-
choices.
Even though he's an old fart now, I feel like Cole's voice actor could be.
Even though, yeah, I'm gonna say, even though he's
I would honestly
he's an older guy,
say-
he's just built for the body for it though.
Or Terry Crews.
I would say, well, you don't have to have the body build for this. I mean, you can slim them down a little bit because you got to look at it this way. Gears of War was kind of stylized, so I get why they would be like super buff and everything. You don't have to have that. I would say honestly, get Stephen Lang on this. Get him to kind of play an old fart, like a grizzled guy. I think Stephen Lang would do a really good job.
Who could be Cole though?
Get his Terry
I know.
White.
You're
Who's
talking-
what's his name?
passing interest in the game. Haven't played him yet. Working on it, but I haven't played him yet.
Is it Terry White?
Christian, yeah, no fucking excuse since you have an Xbox now.
I have plenty of
Our
fucking
Game Pass.
excuses. Let's see.
Work.
Sleep,
Wife.
food, work, social life. Yeah, I have. That's 4 excuses right there. Give me another hour. I'm pretty sure I can pull about 5 more out
Start
of
with
math.
the first game.
I have it downloaded, Joe. I'm just working on other games. I'm trying to finish up God of War. Then I'm going to finish up God of War Ragnarok. Then I'm going to finish up Ghostbusters, and then maybe I'll probably start Gears of War and Dead Space.
I'll join
I
you.
also got to.
I will join you for co-op or Gears of War, the first game,
We'll see what happens.
or all of them actually, since I have
Yeah.
all.
All right. So speaking of future projects, this one's going to be really delayed. So we have our first official, I believe, release year for the Avatar: The Last Airbender. First of the 3 movies, I think they announced,
First
or
of
was it
3.
5? First of 3.
of 3.
I think it's first of the 3.
So
I know that's what's coming out
unfortunately-
sometime next 2 years.
Yeah, unfortunately for
you mean
my
just
my
that,
fe-
man?
my fellow Avatar: Last Airbender fans, unfortunately, we are not going to be getting this until 2025.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't expect any promotional stuff or anything like that until at least late 2024, maybe early 2025. So
Mhm.
because I have a feeling they're going to release this in the summer months. I feel like this is going to be a summer
So
release.
what I've seen,
Hold on.
from what I've seen
Hold on. Leon's got something.
Avatar will bring its next movie to the big screen on October 10th of 2025.
Okay, so
Yeah,
early
definitely.
2025, mid 2025, maybe like at the very least, like the last couple weeks of December 2024. I would say maybe.
October. It's in October.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like
Yeah.
starting to see promotional stuff, like teaser
Yes,
trailers,
on
maybe images.
2024. You said 2025.
Oh, did I say 20? Oh, my bad. Sorry, I meant to say 2020. Hey.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I definitely think that this is one of those things. I'm super pumped about this because I've been wanting to, without watching Legend of Korra, it doesn't really appeal to me. I tried watching a few episodes. I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea, but what else do I have? Like Avatar hooks you in right then and there, and I think
curious.
Legend of Korra takes a little longer, and that's my
Mhm.
only problem with it.
I'm excited for this. Here's the reason why. It's because of idea. We finally get to see what happened after the Fire Nation fell and before Legend of Korra began. So we get to see their live.
Well,
life
there
is
was
pretty
a
well.
comic that was released based off of the like mega cliffhanger that the show ended off on, which was "Where's Zuko's mother?" There was a whole comic. It was like a
There's
manga.
still a whole comic series that
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
place. According to the article that was shared about this, there's actually no plot details. So we actually don't know what's going to take place.
I definitely think if you want to get audiences in, definitely start with do an adaptation of that manga. I would definitely say that would probably be a good idea.
That would be good, yes.
And then I would say definitely go into like maybe Avatar Kyoshi, which apparently everybody's been wanting to see something about Avatar Kyoshi, and I definitely would love to see that too.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd actually maybe like started out as a almost like a dream. Like, here's my picturing of the opening.
Mhm.
Is you're seeing a flashback, so and kind of would have like a little bit of PTSD maybe of the final battle battle.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he wasn't really conscious with a lot of that. That his avatar state took over.
Well,
Well,
not
you
really.
still have like a dream sequence of it because
Yeah,
they're so connected. So maybe he has a little bit of PTSD of dealing with that, and
Mhm.
then it could go on with helping Zuko find his mother, and
Yeah, for
it could
sure.
go on from there.
Yeah, I definitely think that would be a good idea too. Joe, you had a point that you wanted to bring up?
Oh no, this is for something out, something unrelated.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna,
Gallus?
Point
yeah,
for D&D.
I was gonna say the whole thing with him and the PTSD thing would it be possible, and here's why. It'd be possible because he was conscious for the Avatar state and unconscious. The only reason I say this is because at the end of his fight with Zuko's
Fire
father,
Lord
Ozai, when he was at the end of the fight with Ozai, he turned off his Avatar state. He turned it off because he didn't want to kill him that way. He didn't want to kill him at all. He didn't want to end his life or anything like that. So at the end of it, when he was about to attack him again, when Aizen was going to attack Avatar, he basically did spear bending and took away his abilities. That's why I'm saying that the PTSD
angle
would be
could
possible.
work. You could definitely have it where
You
it's
gotta
like
also think
he was
he's 12 years
subconsciously
old.
aware.
Yes,
That's also true. Yeah.
He is 12 years old. This kid did a lot in the whole series
Yeah.
of Avatar took place within a span of a year.
That is true.
And dealt
You're
with
not-
a lot of shit during that year. So yes, he would probably have some PTSD.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying you can't do that. I definitely think that that should be something that you could do, and I definitely think that you could kind of have Zuko kind of teach him around that, because if there's anybody that would have more PTSD than Aang, it would be fucking Zuko.
Fucking Zuko, bro.
Yeah, holy shit, it would be Zuko. Yeah,
Dude was
It'd be-
fucked up, man.
Yeah,
That
and I
burnt-
definitely, I would definitely think that that's a good angle to basically still have Zuko be the focus, because if you're going to be searching for Zuko's mother, you don't want to just take away the focus from him to have it be Aang's story again.
Mhm.
I would love the whole movie based off of like going from Zuko's, because those were some of the best episodes in my opinion, where there was little to no Aang. It was just Zuko and his grandfather.
I'm sorry, out of that
Oh,
whole
man,
series,
I
he had the best
fucking
character
enjoyed-
development.
Oh, he
the best
did, yeah.
character development out
He
of
went
all of
from
them.
main antagonist to fucking helping the Avatar. Like that's one of the best character arcs
Character arcs,
over.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say the only one that has a better character arc, and this is one that shocked a lot of people, including me, is
Katara.
not the Katara already kind of had a character arc from the beginning. I'm talking about like one that like kind of came out of nowhere and then just went off. I
Tough.
think different. I'm blanking on his name. Sokka. I think Sokka. had
Oh
one of the
yeah, it was
character
fucking-
arcs.
Sokka, yeah.
Yeah.
Sokka had a
More.
really interesting character arc, especially after the end of the first season when he loses his girlfriend. Like that's
Oh
harsh,
man, bro.
And then
Listen,
I would
That's
actually
it.
like a movie. I think it'd be cool to have a movie about Sokka.
oh, that would be awesome. Yeah. I would love a Sokka movie. I'd be totally down for that.
It'd be-
Wholeheartedly.
As long as it stayed animated. If they ever did a live action, I'd have to shoot somebody.
I don't know. I think you could get the right
Sokka.
actor to do a live action Sokka. I will fucking murder you, Joe.
What did Joe?
Okay.
Joe, what'd you say?
He said.
What did
Sukka.
you say?
He said
Oh,
Sukka.
In that
Okay.
shut up, Joe.
Shut
Shut
up.
up.
Wow.
You know it's funny.
Joe, you fucked up so bad. You got Leon, of all people, the number one person that has never told you to shut the fuck up. You got him to say shut up. Think
I will-
about that.
I
Joe,
accept
listen
a
to
lot.
Damn, bro.
I accept
So
a lot of
bad.
things. But when you call Sokka Soka or Aang Ong, go fuck yourself.
Look, I'm just saying that movie was shit.
I will say this. Here's the thing. If you don't look at it as an adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie itself is not the worst thing in the world. I've seen far worse.
Well, we haven't watched the Uwe Boll movie yet.
But that's really
I have
hard
seen the Uwe
because
Boll
of
movie.
what the
That-
material is.
Oh no! It is really hard. I'm just saying, like, if you look at it from a movie perspective, like, let's say somebody that never has watched Avatar. Like, I watched a handful of episodes when I went and saw the movie, and I loved it as a kid. I thought the movie was cool.
Yeah.
And then I eventually watched the show. I'm like, oh yeah, the movie's dog shit. But I still enjoyed the movie. I'm not gonna go out of my
I
way to go
enjoy
Yeah,
the
like,
visual
it's all-
effects. I like
if
the
you watch
visuals.
Pulse,
the
the
visuals
movie.
are great. I will definitely
the
say
only
that
thing
the
I did.
visuals are good and some of the action is really fun. but that's really about it. A lot of the changes make no sense. Like I would say honestly the most baffling to me was changing the Fire Kingdom from Japanese, a heavily Japanese kind of thing, changing it to more Hindu. I thought
Or
that was
Turkish,
interesting. It was interesting, but it's like, why though? That
Yeah.
doesn't really fit with a lot of things.
Yeah, that was
Um,
I don't remember how it was. It was like um each nation was a representative of Asia. The Fire Nation was Japan.
The Fire Nation was Japan, I believe. The
Earth
Earthbenders
Kingdom was
were Hindu. They were
India.
Indian. I think they were
was
Indian.
kind of a
Yeah.
little Chinese, I think.
Well, they were all a little Chinese, but that's different. If you technically, here's the thing, Joe. If you want to be technical, India is a part of China.
Pretty much.
Technically, yeah.
Technically,
Somewhat.
it's in the same continent.
The air nomads. No, the air nomads would be more Indian.
They were more Eskimo. They would be more Inuit, like Eskimo, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not
and-
really. They would be their traditional. They'd be the traditional Chinese, Mongolian, or because the reason why I say this is because a lot
No,
of
that would
the
be more-
monks
that
that are
would
like
be air.
them are living
air.
that
That was
in
air.
Yeah,
That was
Oh.
the
air
air
nomads
temple. They were
like
they were more
Shaolin monks.
Mongolian. Yeah, there were shamans, that kind of thing. So the Shaolin, yeah. So they would definitely be more that. I would definitely say honestly the Water Nation was more Inuit and Eskimo like than anything else.
Yeah.
So I would definitely agree with Leon on that one. What's crazy is that's about the only thing that he really changed in the movie. Like the Earth Nation was just kind of a amalgamation of a lot of people, which makes sense in my opinion.
Yeah.
That personally makes sense. But he just changed the Fire Nation to like Indian, and I was like, okay, I get it. You know, an Indian man made this. He wants to do that, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But why change just one? Why not switch it around a little bit? And I'm like, that's one of the most baffling things to me about the movie.
Mhm.
Also, like, why would you want your race to be considered the villains?
Yeah.
Little questionable there, in my opinion. Just a smidge, but just a smidgen, just a little bit. It's a little bit sus there. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just me.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah, it's just a little questionable there. But again, just me. Again, not a great movie, but not the worst thing in the world. Uwe Boll, you brought up Uwe Boll, and I'm surprised you even know who the fuck that is, Joe.
He made a bunch of shitty movies, including a movie based on the game Pulse.
He also made a movie based off the game's Blood Rain. He made multiple movies on that. Yeah.
Games I never played. I grew up here knowing about them, seeing them in rental stores.
Yeah, they're apparently they're not the most well-renowned games, but I've heard they're pretty good. They have really interesting lore with what they do. Now, what I would love to see if we're talking about live-action adaptations of things, because the Netflix adaptation of Castlevania was great. I think
Fuck yeah, it was.
like if we're gonna kind of go back towards Gears of War, I think if you go with that team, because that was clearly a team that loved Castlevania.
Wasn't Castlevania made by one dude though?
No. It was heavily produced by one dude, but it was still a whole writing staff. I think if you get that writing staff, so assuming that they have the same love for Castlevania as they do for Gears of War, I definitely think you need to get a staff that knows what the hell they're doing with Gears of War, that knows the lore, that adores the lore.
Mhm.
You would have a really good adaptation. But back on that, and that's what I'm hoping. Well, actually, it turns out the showrunners for Avatar: The Last Airbender animated series are working on the live action series for Netflix.
Yeah.
So they're back, and I'm loving that because I'm like, okay, they know what the fuck they're doing. I don't think that Netflix is going to be able to screw it up that bad, or else they would have left by now.
True.
I think they're letting them do what they want to do. And
I'm glad they are, man. Long enough they can. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I've heard that they're changing things a lot for that. Like they're changing around some of the episodes, they're changing some of the focuses on the episodes, and I'm super interested to see where we go from there. I cannot wait for that trailer just to see what we're looking at. I want to see how good
I can't wait for that trailer for the live action TV series.
Yeah,
by the original writers.
By the original showrunners and everything. Yeah. I love that. It's just one of those things. And honestly, I know that they did Korra. I don't know if they've done anything else show running wise. I'm gonna go off the top of my head. I would love to see what else they could do.
I think they actually worked on the Dragon Prince. I've
I've
they
heard
working
I've
on
heard the
Because-
Dragon Prince has been really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
For
it
what
is.
it is.
It is one of my favorite shows on Netflix right now. It is one of my favorites. They just came out with the 5th season.
Okay.
At least the first half of the 5th season. You won't get the
Okay.
next half till later. But it's a great show. There's a little snippet. I'm not going to say where. There's a little snippet of where you can see the good old Sokka boomerang.
Ah,
That's
boomerang.
awesome.
The trusty boomerang, man. I love that. I
trusty
really hope they
Boomerang,
keep
the one that
that.
never came back.
Well, now, okay, if you watch the show, now you know what happened to it. Now you know where it went.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really hope they keep that in the movies. Oh man, I think they
in
should.
the
That'd
in
be
the movies,
great
yeah.
jokes. You know what's
that were-
awesome?
Sokka was
The
one of
cabbage.
the best comic reliefs. Oh, they do
This
have a cabbage guy.
man.
They do
This
have a
cabbage.
cabbage guy. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
That's fucking. That'd be
It might
Yeah,
be a
that's
little
great.
out of Sokka's character, but then again, it might not. What if his character broke the fourth wall?
I could see it.
Yeah.
However,
I think
he's
that'd be
kind of already
funny.
done that. He did already
is true.
kind of do that. That whole episode that was essentially making fun of the movie. There's a line. It wasn't breaking the fourth wall, but it was definitely a jab at the movie. It was man, that show was horrible. They got everything wrong, and it's like the effects were decent. I was like, okay, that's
Oh man.
it's Sokka, and it is kind of a fourth wall break. It's like the whole episode was kind of a fourth wall break, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. It's one of those things where it's like, okay,
Oddly
that-
enough, I think that's a lot of the fans' favorite episode was that.
oh, that episode's
Oh,
fucking
even though it
hilarious.
was stupid. It was just
It was
like it was
stupid.
a stupid idea, but everyone loved it. Was the fucking troop
What is that?
episode?
Oh.
Alright, it's not-
The
Yeah,
what?
with
I thought-
the acting troop episode.
Oh, the acting troupe. Yeah, that was funny.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
that was funny as hell.
funny.
I will say this. Okay, we're gonna talk about the show. Hands down, the worst episode.
Oh,
It's
the
still a
worst?
decent episode. We're gonna go with the worst. It is the one with the two tribes that have to get through the valley. I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
Oh, I
that
fucking
episode. Is
hated that one.
god awful.
That was so
That was-
annoying.
That episode is
Yeah.
trash, and it ends with Aang fucking lying. Dude, I
Right?
mean, he would
You
lie.
got the monk
It's a
line,
lie
bro?
that
That's
he
wild.
did, and they tried to make it as a good thing. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing with that episode? I hope they don't put that episode in the live action. Because
I don't think they will because that's when they were still kids.
Somebody somewhere that is their. I'm sure that's somebody somewhere's favorite episode. I want to shoot that person, but we're not going to go into that. I don't want that episode in live action because
I
I
would
think that
not
is
want that.
hands
if
down
they change
worst.
it, if they change it up a bit, I think it'd be better. But yeah,
If you
I
make
agree.
it
That
for the
was
better,
one of the-
yes.
that was like one of the dumbest episodes.
Oh,
And
I
then
hated that episode.
the full kind-hearted Aang had to lie. Like,
Yeah, that's. And here's the thing:
That was the
they
weird
could have
thing.
completely cut that out, and it still would have been fine.
yeah.
Like it's a good moral. It's like, yeah, this whole war of these tribes was started over something fucking stupid like a ball. You could have left it at that, and it's like, okay, that's a good thing. It's like, yeah, don't hold on to grudges just
But no,
because
yeah,
your family does.
they had to make
But
me
yeah,
go into
They
detail.
had to
of,
make
like,
it be a
this
lie.
is a game, and
Yeah,
he was pissed off because he cheated.
yeah,
Pretty
like, that's
much.
stupid. That's so stupid. That why do you have to make that a lie?
Plot
Jesus,
development or
that's one of my-
something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. And they made it seem like it was a joke. It's like, wow, Aang, that was a really good story. It's like, yeah, it would be, except for the fact I lied.
lied.
And it's like,
Yeah, the one dude that doesn't never lies to lie.
yeah,
How do you do that?
how do you do that? That's some
I
bullshit.
feel like that would have been like there was like a behind-the-scenes thing where Aang and Sokka switched bodies, and
yeah, that was total Sokka thing. That would have made more sense if Sokka said that shit and then been like, yeah, well, I lied.
know-
So it is what it
You know
is.
the weirdest episode for me was when Sokka and Katara got sick, and Aang had to go get them the frogs to suck on. It was the weirdest fucking episode I've seen.
That's a really
that
good
was
episode.
That was
That
a
episode
great
was
episode.
funny.
That
It
had
was
that
a good episode. It was just weird to me.
It was weird. I would say the weirdest one is
cactus juice.
no, I actually love that episode. That episode's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and you fucking referenced that in Louis'
Yes, I
campaign.
did. It's the squatchiest.
And then I
I
had
think
to
you've had
and
enough
that
cactus juice. There's no such thing.
And then I had to backhand the. And I backhanded you in character.
That didn't sober him up.
surprised. Hey, I'm surprised Inara's character did not horse kick my ass. Just did not.
Okay.
Like, here, I have more cactus juice behind me. It's like, oh wait, really?
What do you think would have been more funny? Her character horse kicking an unconscious, or the backhand of Barrack?
I think the horse kick would have been funnier.
I think the horse kick would have been hilarious.
I could have
That would
just
have been hilarious.
tried to be like, "Trust me, lad, I'm a
Yeah.
doctor."
But no,
Nah.
you pissed off the quiet one.
Yeah, I pissed off the quiet one of all people. It's like, will you shut up about cactus juice?
Didn't know you sober. Your character sobered up, and then it was just like,
Yeah, still got backhanded, and then that went into a whole thing. Yeah. Anyways, be sure to check out our D&D session. I don't think I've actually gotten that one out yet, but
Oh, you
we do
haven't?
have session. I'm working on it. Those last two recordings that we did are going to be one session. So,
speaking of which, I did make one character I could use for your campaign later.
buddy, I told you, I'm going to have other people in this campaign. I'm more than willing to let you be a guest voice actor for some of the NPCs. You see it. So.
Oh man,
Sad.
somebody I could be an NPC probably.
Okay, then that works better. But we'll continue to talk about that later. Back onto this. I'm excited for this movie. I don't think it can come soon enough. It's just one of those things. That's like, I get it. It takes time, but it's like that's still 2 years and change away. That's crazy to me. I mean, it just doesn't seem. It seems so far fetched. But granted,
I'm excited and worried because it's going to be
Yes.
so long out there. And then how long are we going to wait for the other two?
I think they're working. I think what they're doing is they're trying to at least get a head start on two, maybe the second one and the third one.
Are they going to pull it Back to the Future and work on all three like they did then?
Well, no, Back to the Future actually originally only did the first
Oh.
one. Then they did the 2 and 3 back to back. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro. There's a possibility of a Back to the Future's 3.
4?
Only the 4.
You mean
Sorry,
4?
4.
No, it's not gonna happen. Here's
No,
why I'm telling you. Here's why I'm telling you it's not gonna happen. They're gonna remake it is what they're gonna do. Here's why I'm telling you it's not gonna happen. You cannot have Back to the Future without Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. You cannot have one or the other. You have to have both.
Well, yeah,
You
Michael J.
cannot-
Fox and Christopher Lloyd's been posting things about it though.
I don't think it's going to happen because Michael J. Fox has stepped away from acting due to his Parkinson's. And I think that I don't think that that's going to happen. However, what I could see happening is maybe doing something like Ghostbusters Afterlife. But I don't know how the hell you can do that because The Mandalorian gets obliterated at the end of the third one. Like, it's one of those things. It's just
I don't see how it's going to work.
I don't. I mean, I'm sure if you get a talented cast and crew and writers to pull it off, I'm sure it can happen. Like, honestly, Ghostbusters Afterlife was better than it had any right to be. And I still
And they're
think
making a sequel to go after it. That goes after Afterlife.
yeah, well, it's actually going to be. It is a sequel. Yes, it is taking place after that, but the kids are not coming back.
Well, that
Fuck them
sucks.
kids anyway.
Yeah, kind of. But apparently, Paul Rudd might be coming back.
That was cool.
So if there's anybody that I would like to see as a Ghostbuster, it would be Paul Rudd. I think he was honestly cheated in that movie. I don't think he had enough lines. I really don't. I don't think he had
I mean,
enough
he
lines.
is immortal.
True. And speaking of immortality, thank you for that segue, Joe. We have our first official trailer for John Wick Chapter 4, and holy shit, does this look like a lot of fun. I'm so
Dude.
excited.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh,
Yeah,
bro.
it
Fucking-
looks like a really fun time, and it's a race against time movie, which is what I've been wanting for a John Wick movie for
We
so
get to
long.
see more of Dad.
We're not gonna go there, Joe. Anyways, Leon, you had something to say.
Okay. As someone who's... don't worry, guys. It's on my list to watch. I honestly have not watched any of the John Wick yet.
Leon, I
It's on
had
my list.
4 snipers in your location. They will not go away until you watch all 3 John Wick movies. Back to back.
I think I've watched up to 3.
I would have to set up a time to do that, but don't. It's on my list to watch, guys. Don't worry. But from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be an end of an era type movie. Like
No, there's another one that's already been confirmed.
Really?
Of five?
Just the way the trailer looked, it looked like
No,
this
they've
was
already
going to be the
confirmed
end.
this one.
This is like going to be the final thing.
I think what they're gonna do is they're probably gonna end it off at 5. Though honestly, I would like it if they ended it off at 6. I just don't know.
I think
Here's the
4
thing,
is good enough.
4
I think
is
4
good
they-
enough. I definitely think having a quadrilogy is fine. There's not that many quadrilogies out there, in my personal opinion, that work. Because like honestly, Alien and Aliens are kind of akin to. I would say honestly, if you want to talk about franchises that have gone on too long but have really, really good starts, like in the first 2 movies, I would say Godfather is one of them.
Oh my gosh.
And there's only 3 of them, I know, but still, Godfather 1 and 2 are some of the best films of all time. Godfather 3 is meh.
Okay.
But, however, here I have 2 more. You have Alien, the Alien franchise. You have 1 and 2. Fantastic. I'm more of an Aliens guy than an Alien, but you can bite me on that. However, I also think Terminator is one of those.
Terminator.
1 and 2.
Hold on.
agree
The
with that.
first. Good. The
I can
last
kind of
them
agree
are
with
terrible.
I
That's the
kind
whole
of
point.
like Salvation. Salvation
Is okay. I don't necessarily hate it. I don't even hate Terminator 3. I really don't. I don't hate Terminator 3. I think Terminator 3 has some really good moments in it. I know everybody goofs on the sunglasses for 2 seconds. I know everybody doesn't like the talk to the hand. I know everybody doesn't like that, but it's still in line with the character. It's so fucking stupid. It's got some decent satire. Like, okay, he does put on the glasses for a few seconds. Then he immediately takes them off and fucking crushes them under his foot. And then finds a better pair of sunglasses. That's in line with the Terminator. Then you have the talk to the hand, where when you look at where he got it from, makes perfect fucking sense. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it needed? No. But is it done in line with what the character is? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
Terminator
least
Salvation is
favorite
okay.
would probably be Genesis. That was
Genesis is
kind of
almost
an odd
everybody's
one.
least favorite.
I liked it, but also didn't like it. It was kind of that weird one.
It has a really
story
strong.
is good. The
story
opening
is
is good. The story is
convoluted.
kind of
The
but
story is convoluted as fuck.
for me, I liked it. It was all right, but it just didn't feel.
So the
Like a
opening
Terminator.
is the strongest, in my opinion. I think that the opening is really, really good. I like the redesign of the Terminators as well. In the future, they look more scrawny and more terrifying, and I'm like, okay, that works. You know, like the CGI is
Yeah.
pretty good. I like the opening of Terminator Genesis. It's just the rest of the movie's meh. And then, of course, you know, you have the riskiest. What I would argue would be Terminator Dark Fate, but the only reason why it's the riskiest is because they fucking killed John Connor.
They did kill John
Yeah.
Connor.
But however, you know, to be fair, Terminator really doesn't. Aside from, hey, he's the savior of humanity. What else does John Connor do? Also,
Nothing. He
Gallows,
does absolutely nothing.
You're echoing again.
God damn it.
It is not an episode of the Snodacast without having Gallows phone do whatever the fuck it's doing. There we go. Anyways, I would say it is an argument that like I don't think they planned Terminator to be anything other than a duo. I really don't. I don't think they really wanted it to be. They didn't know where to go from there. I think that was the biggest problem. And the other biggest problem is they lost James Cameron. James Cameron was out. Like all he did was produce a handful of things. Actually, I don't think he even produced 3, 4, and 5. I think he only produced Dark Fate. It's just one of those things, and it's like I think after Terminator 2, when you lost James Cameron, you lost where the franchise should have gone. that's just my opinion.
Probably not wrong.
Because
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
I had headphones. I had
We're good.
headphones in this time. That's why I'm
Oh
like.
my god! Hey, you finally got a pair of headphones. Thank God.
I mean,
Anyways,
they're regular fucking headphones, but okay.
Back to John Wick. I love this franchise. I still think the second one is one of the best, even though it is a little convoluted in my personal opinion. The third one is a lot of fun. I just rewatched it today, and I love it. You know, it's still a lot of fun. It still kicks ass, but it's still one of those. It goes on too long. It backpedals a lot. So it also adds way too much convoluted lore, in my opinion, from what was already established. Like, oh yeah, there's one that sits above the high table. It's like, huh? What's huh? It's so fucking confusing.
It threw
And
me
then,
off
like, they
too.
adding
Like, what the
terms,
fuck?
and the other thing that I hated is that, you know, it's like, oh my god, John just gave up his wedding ring and chopped off his fucking ring finger to, you know, and then he's given a task like, hey, you know, you'll no longer be excommunicado if you kill fucking Winston. And then
All you had to do
Winston,
was kill Winston, bro. That's
Yeah.
all you had to do. But no, Winston was
actually,
like,
all he really had to do was just sit outside the Continental, wait for what's his fucking face to step 1 foot off those steps, and just that's it. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do, and the rest of the movies would have never happened. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell
That is
me I'm
true.
wrong.
that is
However,
true.
as much as I love, that being said, even though it's convoluted to get there, I love the finale of John Wick. John
I
Wick.
do. It's fucking
Parabellum has
great.
a really, really strong climax. I think, like, the climax of Parabellum, you have round one, you have round two against these heavily armored guards, and then you basically have this. You have the twin fight, the mini boss fight, and then you have the boss fight with what's his name. And I think after that is where it kind of goes. Is like, because I remember for the longest time they were saying, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be the last John Wick movie." I'm like, okay, cool. And then when we got there, and I'm like, no, they're setting up another one. They're gonna set up another one. I think it's just, and I don't think this franchise is gonna end until they kill off John Wick. They have to kill John. I think John has to die for this franchise to end.
I think either he needs to die or he finally
Do we
needs to
want
just fucking retire. He needs to just leave the homie
and
alone.
it's also one of those things like, why would you announce John Wick 5 already? And yet in this trailer, it's like, oh yeah, this is a one-way ticket kind of thing. Either you make it out of this, and then you get peace, or like, how are they going to convolute that towards like, oh yeah, no, now we have another reason why Chapter 5 is going to happen, and it's just one of those things where, like, I'm excited. I love these movies. It's just one of those things where it's like,
It doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense. It's
No,
like, okay,
no,
you're clearly trying to convolute everything to where you can make this franchise go on even longer. And as much as I love it, I don't think it's needed.
Nope.
Also, I'm also super pumped that Harizuki Sanada is going to be in this.
I'm excited. The one I'm excited for is Danny Young. Why? Because he plays.
Donnie Young's in this too. Yeah, that's fucking
Yes.
awesome. I can't.
He
wait for him
plays
to-
another blind swordsman. Because he played a blind dude in Rogue One, and now he's playing a blind guy in John Wick. I'm not trying to say that suits him perfectly,
Blind in John Wick.
but he does good.
I don't think he's going to be blind in John Wick.
No, he's blind. Only reason I say this is because if you look at the one fighting scene they have together, you can tell this dude's somewhat blind. Because the way
Maybe I have to watch that again then. I'm also kind of pumped that Bill Skarsgård's going to be in this.
oh
I think he's
wow,
going to be a lot of fun. I think he's going to be a lot of fun for this because I think he's clearly playing the villain. I think this is going to be interesting. However, I also think that there has to be a time jump. You can't keep making these movies 3-4 years apart and not have a time jump.
jump. I know, right?
Right.
Yeah, because the first 3 ultimately take place, I think, over the span of like 2 weeks, maybe. Like, I know 1 and 2 take place pretty quickly after each other. I think it's like maybe a couple of days in between. Like, yeah, I think this really does span over the like time of like 2 weeks. So it's just one of those things. I think. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3, I think all take place over the span of like 2 weeks. So I think you have to have at least like a month, because like John is pretty fucked up at the end of the last one. And also, you see Lawrence Fishburne's character. His scars are actually like regular scars, and that takes months to get to that point because they were like you could clearly tell they were stitched together. And it's just one of those things. Is like you're gonna have to do a time jump. I don't know if it's gonna be a year. I think that's a little too much, but I definitely think
6 months.
I think 6 months, maybe half a year. I think would probably be a good idea.
Because he needs to
But-
heal up from all his injuries. Homie had several broken ribs. Several
I
different
guarantee you
body
he has
parts that are busted
broken.
up.
Yeah, I guarantee you he needs to lick his wounds for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to do like what Halloween did, which I think was a 4-year time jump between kills and ends. I don't think you need to go that route. I definitely think 6 months could probably be enough. Maybe
6 months to a year.
I would say 6 months to a year. I would definitely say you go beyond a year and a half, you're probably pushing it.
Yeah.
I think that's pushing it, but I definitely think six months to a year would probably be okay. I think that could work out just fine. But yeah, you guys excited to see John Wick 4?
I'm fully excited for John Wick 4, bro.
Leon, my levels of respect for you were up here. They are now about halfway down. This is the bottom. They're about here. So you were here. Now you're here.
Hey, at least I didn't say I'm not going to watch him, period. I said the wrong
No,
place.
if you said that, it would have gone below the bottom. It would have gone from here to here. You would have immediately been off the fucking board. I've been like, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go kill Leon. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Leon is gonna have to get the fucking line. You're gonna have to go for me first.
Joe, that's not gonna be much of a task. I already want to kill you.
The problem is, I will
Who I
end
say
up
wrong?
wanting to bear hug you, and they'll be like,
Oh,
everybody
Bear hug,
loves you.
Hey, hold on. You said bear hug? You said bear hug. Bitch, I just got this knife sharpened. Bear hug's easy.
Okay, look, the only problem is no knives, just our fists and our bodies.
Yeah, so you said just your fist, right?
I just
I'll
have,
go Wolverine on your ass, bitch. No, I'm
You
kidding.
know, I
I
get
just have
nervous
to have
when I'm
this
pointing
long
at
ass nail that I'm just gonna like.
All right, yeah. I have a John Wick arc of my own. I'm gonna have to go through Joe, then I'm gonna have to go kill Leon. Anyways,
The only problem is no knives.
I can make work with that.
If you use a
I'll
knife,
just give you a really hard titty twister, and you'll let go.
I might enjoy it.
And with that, I'm going to definitely chop off Joe's testicles and shove them down his throat, and then shoot him in the eyes. So have fun with that. I will be posting
I
clips.
feel like this would violate the
Professionals, everybody.
Like,
Professionals. Professionals. Yes.
Twitch's guidelines be like, oh, actually, you can say that.
Oof.
Okay, but
Joe, I'm having way too much fun thinking of ways to make you torturously and slowly die.
Kevin
You might
Conroy.
want to stop while you're ahead.
Look, Kevin Conroy is dead. I'm already tortured enough.
No, not when I'm done with you. Anyways, so on to Snodacquicks. All right, so Snodacquicks, if you show enough, you know basically what this is. This is the segment where we get to either further elaborate on a current topic that we have brought up this episode, or we can bring up a whole new topic, or we can bring up a topic that we brought up on previous episodes. As long as it stays within the binds of what we talk about, you are more than anybody is more than welcome to bring up their topic. Now, I believe, Leon, you wanted... did you finally figure out yours? I don't remember if we officially...
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, cool.
So, who here is a Prince of Persia fan?
Casually.
I enjoyed the
Yeah,
movie.
I already heard enough about the Sansa Side remake that will it ever come out? Who the fuck knows?
Well, there's no official release date yet, as of yet, but we will be getting a remake of the Sands of Time video game.
That's
That's
what
good.
I was talking about. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
sorry about that. My internet had went out for a moment.
All good, buddy.
It's not canceled, thankfully, but we just don't know as of yet
Absolutely
when
not.
it will be released, sadly.
Yeah.
But
What are we talking about?
judging by the way other remakes have done probably in the next year or so.
Okay, that's
Hopefully,
good.
maybe we'll see some stuff in 2023. Hopefully.
So is it in active development right now? The remake. Okay, then
Yeah.
we'll probably see it within the next year or so, and then probably another 2-3 years after that, we'll probably get the actual like trailers and gameplay and
I'll
stuff
be
like
old
that.
as fuck.
Yeah, apparently there was some issue before when they first announced it, and apparently there was like a bunch of pre-orders and stuff like that. But because of whatever happened, they had to cancel and refund a lot of people. For
Oh, okay.
But we're still getting it, thankfully. We just
Okay,
don't
that's good.
know when, and as of yet, there is no saying that they're going to remake the other two yet from the original trilogy. But
All right.
I'm excited. I really enjoyed the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time video game. It was one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Well, it definitely has a unique gameplay gimmick on it, and I definitely think it's one of those. It's like you can definitely do more with it. I'm sad that it didn't really get much love beyond like. I mean, it was popular enough to get a movie, though. Granted, that's not a very hard bar to pass. It's just one of those things. I mean, Hollywood's desperately looking for ideas, and I know that the movie got a lot of flack because they casted Jake Gyllenhaal as this Persian character, but it's like, okay, dude, it's acting. He did fine in the movie. You didn't bitch and moan about Ben Kingsley, who's a Brit. I mean, shit, this is the dude that played Gandhi, for Christ's sake.
Wait, what? He did what?
Yeah, Ben Kingsley played Gandhi at one point.
You're kidding,
In the
right?
Gandhi biopic?
wow,
Yeah, that was
okay.
Ben Kingsley.
I never did
Yeah.
watch this movie yet.
I never
It's a
knew that.
long movie. It's like a almost 3-hour plus movie. It's definitely it's akin to Amadeus, the Mozart biopic. Yeah, that's Anyways, that's the Mozart biopic, and that's an interesting movie. I will say that, but that is a long movie. But it's akin to that. It's definitely a heavy drama, historical, that kind of thing. So if it's not, I know people that's not their cup of tea. It's definitely not my go-to watches, but every now and then I'll watch something like that. I think that makes sense. Anyways, we got way off topic. So I've never played the Sands of Time game, but I have seen somebody play it. I have seen gameplay. It is an old game. However, I definitely think that has one of the most unique gameplay mechanics where it's like, you can go back, like I think it's like 30 seconds or so in the game.
Yeah, it's like
13,
like 15 to 30 seconds. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, so it's just one of those
I've
things.
played it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like you don't really see that in video games all that often. So that's definitely an interesting idea to have in a game. I'm surprised Overwatch hasn't snatched that idea yet.
Yeah.
Well, Blizzard's not really doing much.
So
No.
I feel like since you guys talk about that, so I don't know if you knew the Apex game mobile has a legend that can do that, can set back time.
Oh yeah, it was Apex that took it. I'm sorry, I confuse Apex and Overwatch a lot because they are fairly similar games.
Yeah.
Different style, I know, but like you're talking to somebody that's barely played Overwatch, barely played Apex. So forgive me here. I'm not that kind of a sweat when it comes to those games. But it's one of those things that I think personally, it's a game that I think is well deserving of a remake. Like I still want my Conker's Bad Fur Day remake. Where the fuck is that shit, bitches?
Yeah. I mean, I never got to play it either.
I never got to play Conkers, but I've watched gameplay and I'm like, this.
It's so fucking hilarious.
That needs a remake. I think Banjo-Kazooie deserves a remake. First one,
wholeheartedly, or at least give us Banjo-Kazooie 3.
What is Banjo-Kazooie?
You don't know what Banjo-Kazooie is?
No,
it's one of
I don't know.
most, like, popular characters.
Have you not played Smash Brothers?
I've played Smash Brothers. Huh?
Recently, like the most recent game. Have you played it?
No.
Okay.
Good night.
Nah, don't.
Dear God.
Banjo-Kazooie is kind of like it's not necessarily the deepest cut into video games, but it is a deep cut for some people. You also got to look at it as like Gallus is a casual.
I don't hardcore game like that. I don't. I don't professionally.
I would love it, but that's just
me. It's an old school platformer game. Well, not platformer, but it was one of the most revolutionary 3D games. Like Rareware had a lot of revolutionary 3D games that came out. when it came to stuff like, because I think it was a 3D platformer, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe so. It's been a while since I
Yeah.
played Banjo-Kazooie.
Also fair. I definitely think I would love like something akin to what they did with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Do something like that. Do a remaster of Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie. Do not and fucking include Nuts and Bolts, for the love of God.
Yeah, fuck that game.
Let that game die. If John Tron has said it is one of the worst games he's ever played,
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this again. If any game that from the Xbox needs a remake, it needs to be Fear, because that was a really great game.
yeah, well, they were. I think they were a Nintendo game first and foremost. I think Rareware they did multi-platform, or did they do mostly Xbox or Nintendo?
I think it was Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation for Fear.
I don't know if PlayStation had Banjo Kazooie. I'm not gonna lie. I know now it's like primarily a Nintendo thing because I think Nintendo actually bought Rareware, or at least bought the rights to the characters. I don't know.
Microsoft has
But you can
Rare.
still,
Microsoft has. Okay, so
Yeah.
there was an Xbox.
Yeah.
There's an
Yup.
Xbox. Okay.
like, you can still play. You can Banjo-Kazooie, like the old school ones. They're 360 remix.
Yeah.
But you keep them on the Xbox One.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
For Prince of
Then,
Persia,
yeah,
I'm excited. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know, like, are they gonna update the graphics and whatnot, like almost do a remastering, or are they gonna pull a Final Fantasy and rebuild it from the ground up?
Closer.
I think rebuilding it from the ground up would probably take too long. However, it depends on how long they've been actively developing this game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. So I definitely think maybe do a full-on remaster where it's like don't just update the graphics, update some of the gameplay, because I'm pretty sure if it's that old of a game, I'm pretty sure it has some kinks in the thing. So it's kind of like that's what I'm hoping for the KOTOR remake, because the KOTOR remake definitely has some kinks, and I think that you can update the graphics, but you can also update some of those kinks and actively not change it for the worse, but change certain gameplay mechanics for the better, if not completely revolutionize what those gameplay mechanics can be. I think that's a good idea. I'm still nervously waiting for that KOTOR remake because I'm a PlayStation guy. So fuck you, Joe. You don't get to play the KOTOR remake. Ha! Anyway,
PC, motherfucker.
it won't be on PC. Will it be on PC?
It may.
Yeah, in like 3 years after it comes out.
Don't worry. I'll have Game Pass to keep me busy.
Knight Republic would definitely be a great one when that ever comes out. I heard that would be on the Switch when it gets
It's
to
gonna be on
on
Switch
PC
as well?
and PS.
I heard that it was going to be on the Switch.
It's exclusive to PC, PlayStation 5, and PC, and will come to other consoles at a later date.
There you go.
Nintendo.
All right.
Nintendo Switch.
All right, Gallows. Your
Okay.
your topic is actually fairly interesting. I'm actually curious to go ahead and get into. I believe you're going to talk about Studio Ghibli is working on a Star Wars project.
Yes. So recently there was a recent post that went out. It was a short video though
Okay.
from Studio Ghibli themselves, and it said Lucasfilms. That's what it said. It said that, you know how in Star Wars at the beginning it shows the Lucasfilm sign. Well, that's what that's what it showed. And then they came out with another poster of Grogu in Studio Ghibli's cartoon in animation form.
That is fascinating. I'm curious to see if it's going to be like a mini series or if it's going to be a full on like animated movie.
I believe that they're going to more likely make them into little shorts.
Okay.
Studio
So do something
shorts.
similar. What? Do something similar to what I believe it was it Star Wars Legends? I believe is what it was called.
Yeah, Star Wars Legend.
No,
Star Wars.
it was like had different animation styles for each episode.
Oh,
That
Visions.
was Legend.
Star Wars Visions. It's going to be probably
Visions, there
similar. Yeah, that could be interesting. I definitely think Studio Ghibli definitely, even if you don't know who they are, they definitely have a distinct art style. It's one of those things. It's like I would say Studio Ghibli is one of the like masterclass legends of animation in any general form. I would love to see if it's going to be hand drawn, because there's something about hand drawn that, I mean, yeah, it makes it look older, but I think that's what adds to the to the charm of it. It's one of those things. It's like as somebody that's only watched within passing interest of a handful of moments of each Studio Ghibli film, I definitely think it has a distinct art style and definitely has distinct stories. and I think that it would go 100% well with Star Wars. I think Star Wars works best in animated format, in my personal opinion. Some of the animated stuff from Star Wars we've gotten is hands down some of the best
Phenomenal.
stuff. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's just one of those
I think
things.
it's gonna be a good idea for this.
Oh,
I
it's a
really hope
great
it's gonna be great, fucking great animation, great storytelling. Even though there's little shorts, but all
yeah.
together, I'm really hopeful for this all together.
No, yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that this is going to be fantastic, and if they fuck it up, I will no longer ever forgive Disney.
But yeah, I forget that Disney owns Ghibli. That's right.
They don't
I
own
always
Ghibli; they
forget
own the
that.
distribution rights to Ghibli. Ghibli is still their own studio.
Man.
They just have like a hand. It's like the Sony Marvel agreement. They have a handshake basically. Ghibli could theoretically back out at any time, but I think that this time, I think it's now gone on to more like a forearm shake because I think that now they've worked together so long that I believe it's probably that's why I think they're letting them work on a Lucasfilm project,
Yeah.
and I can't be more excited for it. I think it's a fantastic match.
Yeah. Even those like Star Wars Visions and Star Wars Resistance, if I remember correctly, are all. I know Visions is, but I think Resistance is a bunch of shorts as well.
I believe so. I know which one you're talking about, and I heard it's actually really well renowned too. Even though it falls,
I have not watched,
I haven't either.
but I've heard it's.
Me too. I have also heard it's very good.
But I've watched Star Wars Visions, and like it's all all these different art styles are amazing, and they're all shorts, and they tell a really powerful story. Each one.
I thought it was fucking great for that. For Visions.
Yeah.
I thought I fucking loved them. The one I especially loved was the Samurai.
Oh, that was my favorite
Samurai one. Yeah, that's everybody's favorite from what I've been told. Everybody loved that Samurai episode. I have yet to really sit down and watch Visions. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, cool, it's getting a lot of praise. I'll eventually watch it. It's just not on my. It's not on the top of my to-do list. Basically.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, and Joe, I believe.
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about Crusader Kings 3?
Yeah. It's been official since yesterday. Elder Kings 2 is out. Elder Kings 2 is basically a total conversion mod for Crusader Kings 3, where instead of just playing, the whole map of Europe and other areas, you're playing on the whole map of fucking Tamriel, from High Rock, Hammerfell to even Cyrodiil. And
that sounds exciting.
You could just make a ruler to where you can, you can end up forming the whole Tamrielic Empire, or you could I don't know, just start from being a county within Skyrim, just take over the whole damn Reach.
All right.
Eventually, they'll have stuff where you can bargain with you could worship and bargain with a Daedric prince to get all kinds of different boons.
Boons to boonies, the booty.
Basically, you can and if Crusader King's having the ruler design for free, unlike CK2, you can make your ruler be a Dwemer, any kind of elf, or a Breton, or even an orc, or even some of the ancestral kind of races like the Aelid.
Oh yeah. So Joe, this is gonna make you a little excited. Leon, you probably too. So my roommate, let me borrow these.
Monster Manual and what's that one?
Storm King's Thunder.
Oh, I've been trying to play
yet.
a fucking module, man.
I don't have that one yet. That's the one I'm.
My roommate let me borrow. He's like, "Hey, check them out real quick." Hold on, who the fuck is calling me and why?
I don't know.
Maybe it's Teddy saying he's gonna come back.
No, it's Gallo. It's Lewis.
I was gonna say, don't say me because I'm on the phone right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, so my topic is one that Gallows did bring up earlier in the episode. So DC is planning something big. We don't know exactly what yet, but based off of what Jason Momoa has told us, he said it is basically his dream. He said this has been fulfilling his dream, and I don't think it's just going to be Aquaman 2. I don't think, or Aquaman
Oh,
3 or
God.
whatever. I don't think that that's going to be. I mean, I'm sure that's in the slot to go and happen, but it's just one of those things. I don't think that's going to be the main focus. I think what it probably will be, and everybody's like, well, Justice League 2 doesn't make sense either because, well, they only have Henry Cavill, but it's like, what if they get Ray Fisher and Ben Affleck back? Like, that's a fucking dream team right there. On top of the fact that they already have Henry Cavill back, that would be, it would be awesome if James Gunn. Well, I know that he also said Maestro, and for those of you that have been kind of dealing, like, go back before all the Ezra Miller bullshit. Whenever he was at the first DC fandom, y'all lame as fuck. Who the fuck? Trending Darian. Oh, okay, cool. Fuck
So-
you too, buddy.
Who is that?
Anyways,
So
Uh,
supposedly,
I know who it is.
there's supposed rumors of a possible Lobo movie. I know there was a film, there was a fan. I get it, there was a fan one, but an actual possibility of.
I don't think that's
Of
what's
it.
gonna happen.
There's rumors.
really
I'm just
don't.
saying.
Well, one
It's
day.
rumors.
There are rumors, but I don't think Jason Momoa would quit Aquaman to be Lobo, even though I think that would have
I
been perfect
fucking-
casting over
I
Aquaman.
fucking hell no! I fucking fully believe.
I could see
I
it.
fully
I
blown
could see
believe
Chris
that he
Hemsworth being
would.
Lobo.
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah.
You-
I would say he could do
could.
the body of it.
Yeah, no, he could definitely do the body. But I think Jason Momoa would have been a hands down a better pick for Lobo than he was for Aquaman. Don't get me wrong, I like his Aquaman, but it's definitely one of those things that when I see Jason Momoa, I genuinely think Lobo, just because he has that look going for it. But I don't think he would just out of the blue try to be Lobo and Aquaman. That would be way too confusing. And I think it's not that I don't think he would do it, but I think it's just one of those things where it's like. Okay. Do we have some fucking kid in the chat roasting us? So fuck you, kid. Anyways, I don't think it's just one of those things. I think it's just
Oh,
one of those things where it's
man.
like,
Our first little troll. That's fucking
Wow.
awesome. I love it.
I'm
Shit.
not surprised. Is it on YouTube? Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's on YouTube,
yeah,
who
I
cares?
figured. Yeah, who fucking cares?
Fucking
Anyways,
annoying.
I think it wouldn't. I think if you're gonna try to not confuse Gallus,
Yes.
Exactly.
doing it again.
Okay. Well, since we're at the end, I'm just gonna hop off. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks for joining in, buddy.
Later, man.
No problem.
Later, man.
Bye. All right.
What does this guy, the kid say?
I
Talk about
don't know.
real life. Y'all ass got no life.
Joe, don't get depressed by it. It's just some stupid little kid. Anyways,
Say
Joe, let's not fucking engage with this. Anyways,
Yeah, let's not engage with.
yeah.
I'm like, I can do much.
Anyways, I think that personally, he did bring up the Lobo idea. I don't think Warner Brothers would do that just because it would be way too confusing for general audiences. And they're already kind of going towards the idea of like, well, we already have separate universes, so there's that too. But I think that possibly
That could be
the reason why I brought up Maestro is Ezra Miller also said he also called Andy Muschietti his Maestro. So
Mhm.
Jason Momoa kind of dropped a little hint. He's like, "Thank you, Maestro," in his video, and I think that means that we're going to get Andy Muschietti possibly directing Justice League 2.
Is Ezra-
And I think that is an
Ezra
interesting
Miller
idea.
real?
Shut up, Joe. I think that's honestly a fantastic idea. It just goes down to where it's like, I would like to see where this goes. 100%. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know who they're going to recast the Flash as. I would love to see who they would. And everybody's like, oh, get Grant Gustin. I think Grant Gustin wants to get away from the Flash. And I think you should bring in a newer guy. I think you should bring in someone less problematic, obviously, but I definitely think you should bring in someone that's passionate enough to do this and still get them young enough. I think somebody like,
Race.
I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
I can't really think of anyone either, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
as much
I
as I'd love
wholeheartedly
to see Gustin come back and be
Let him breathe.
Flash in the theatrical sense instead of on the small screen, but
Now, if we're going to talk about live action castings, I think personally, I do think that somebody like Matt Smith would be an interesting Oliver Queen. I think he could pull that off. Maybe David Matt Smith. Fez. Fez
Oh,
is
okay.
ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Took me a minute.
uh,
I couldn't think of the name.
bow ties are cool. Yeah. No, I think he could do that. Or I personally think it'd be a weird casting, mind you, but I think Ryan Reynolds could be a really good Green Arrow. I think he could
That
pull that
is
off.
a weird
Ask for it.
casting.
That is a weird casting, yes, I know, but I think he could pull it off.
I'd have to think about that one because that's a really weird.
Well, you
casting.
think about it, Oliver Queen is quite the quipster. Ryan Reynolds
Dad
does
jokes.
really good quips, so it's just one of those things. I think it could work just based off of quipping, but honestly, I think there's a lot of people that could be a really good Oliver Queen. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Charlie Hunnam as Oliver Queen. I think he could do a really good job. If you haven't seen The Gentleman, I think that's like a good example of what his Oliver Queen could look like, because he does kind of have quips in there every now and then. So I think it's definitely. I would like to see more characters get introduced. Like, I think having a Green Arrow would be a good idea. I know that they technically tease Martian Manhunter, but we don't know if Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be continuing on from there on. So don't know where that's going to go. But I definitely think that there's a lot of people that could do great things with this. Now, I think. Oh man, I'm trying to think of who. I'm trying to think of who would be a really good Solomon Grundy.
Lou Ferrigno for the voice.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, I could definitely see that working. However, here's my counter argument.
I don't know.
Hear me out.
Should I?
Alex Winter.
Alex Winter.
I'm not familiar with the name.
Ted from Bill and Ted.
Oh, Bill's mom's kind of hot.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah. Bill. Sorry, Bill. Yeah, sorry. Ted was Keanu Reeves. My bad.
I was about to reach in there and be like, "Are you getting your names mixed up?"
It's been a while since I watched Bill and Ted.
Christian?
It's been a while since I watched Bill and Ted. I think Alex Winter would be a good choice for a Solomon Grundy. It'd be an interesting one, just based off of it. It's like I think you could see him do something like that. Just the voice. Definitely have Solomon Grundy be CG for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
That'd be interesting, right?
It'd be interesting. Yes, I definitely say it'd be interesting, but.
The only other person I was going to say, the reason why I thought of him is because I thought of Keanu Reeves. I'm like, no, Keanu Reeves wouldn't make sense. In the DC universe, I would like to see Keanu Reeves play...
Constantine.
Well, there's Constantine, but I'm talking about, like, if there's another character I think he could pull off. I think... Honestly, I'm trying to think of his name. Fuck, what is his name? I'm trying to think of a good character that he could play. I know Zac Efron would be a great Booster Gold.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Maybe the Atom?
No, they already set up the Atom. And I think the guy that they got would be a really good one. Hello, Eastern Promise. How's it going, man? Anyways, we're with that being said, I think that this is a good thing. I can't wait to see what comes of this from this news that we got from Jason Momoa, and I still am genuinely excited to hear more news of what's going on with DC, because I feel like they're finally getting a proper foothold in what they need to do.
Took them long enough, but
it did.
Better late
but
than
I
never.
think better late than never. And I think now's the perfect time, because a lot of Marvel fans are kind of getting off that hype. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity for DC to be like, hey, remember how good Marvel was in the beginning? Come here. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I think that's what they're doing. And I think that this is like the perfect time for them to do that. But with that being said, this has been Snodacast episode 42. I have been your host, Black Chef 56. I have, of course, been joined by Gallows, even though he left, Leon Lionheart, aka Leon.
Stay nerdy,
and
everyone.
Of course, Joe. Of course, stay nerdy, everybody. Why else would we not be here? And of course,
Without
we're
me,
also talking about Joe.
there'd be no shit posting.
Without you, there would be peace. But we're not going to go into that. And of course, as always, we
I'm
are
coming down for Christmas weekend.
professionals.
That means we don't have the excuse to not go.
Yeah. As always, we are professionals.
Professionals.
And we will see you all later.